Some of these boundaries will apply to the man that she's with, and some of these boundaries will apply to you as the high-value feminine woman, and some will apply to both. Women of high value recognize that in order to protect her high value-ness, as well as protecting her high value relationship or the potential of that, boundaries are important. And so we're going to go through 5 boundaries that high value feminine women have that continue to elevate her in her romantic life. First one, she doesn't share an intimate space with a male who is not her man, or with a man who she isn't interested in. A high-value feminine woman understands that she is an attractive woman. Not just an attractive woman aesthetically, but her energy is one that people want to be around, especially men. This kind of woman is intelligent and she understands men. So with this knowledge, because of her beauty, her femininity, her aura, and her energy, she knows that most men would be intimate with her given the chance. And she doesn't play naive to this. And while this desire that men have for her may serve her in opportunities and access in some very indirect ways, she's not dumb to the fact that men would likely take the opportunity to further a physical relationship with her in an intimate space. And so she makes this a boundary for the relationships that she has with men, whom she has no romantic interest in. This could include a colleague, a male client, a friend. And what counts as an intimate space? It's a space where you both can build intimacy together. So this includes a man being at her house, just them two, or her being at his, them both going to an event together where there's no one else that either of them know are going to be around. Any room with a bed, any room with a mattress, any room where there is a spot where 2 people would conventionally lie down. They may be thinking, okay, Kit, but this is a bit much, no? Shouldn't a woman be able to be in a close environment with a man without anything happening? Of course, you're right. That can be the case. But it's not about, is it possible that nothing would happen? It's that a high value woman doesn't give the opportunity for it to happen. It's not just respect for herself, but it's also respect for the man that she's with or that she wants to be with. She would never want other people to see her with this other male friend or client or colleague going back with him somewhere, and for them to think that she is involved with that man when she isn't and has no interest in being so. The next boundary that a high value feminine woman has is not going back to a man's house on the first date. She does this not because she may not be attracted to the man, she may very well be, but to respect and protect herself. The truth is, a feminine high-value woman understands that while we may live in these sexually liberated times, a man, especially a high-value man, cannot have respect for a woman who gives herself to him on the first date. Oh, he'll indulge in it if it's offered, don't get me wrong, but the chance of him trusting her with his commitment becomes negligible. A feminine woman understands that the lustful desire in a man can be quite strong. It's actually part of the reason why she loves a masculine man, but it is an energy that she has to invite. She doesn't put herself in environments where that can happen if she is not absolutely sure that this man is trustworthy. Because for a feminine woman to share herself, to share her body, to share her temple, it takes a level of vulnerability. There's a level of vulnerability in order to be sexual, in order to be intimate, especially for a woman. And so a feminine woman knows that the trust required for her to do so, this can't be done just through messaging, and this definitely cannot be done just from the first date. She understands that you can only truly know this about a man when you see him and how he operates, how he carries himself, how he operates with other people, how he is with her, how he makes her feel when she's in his presence. She might get a really good feel for him prior to the first meeting, but she reserves accepting that from him until she knows for sure. And the other reason, which is arguably the more important one, is to protect herself. A feminine woman of high value doesn't put herself in environments that she doesn't know if she can get out of. This man may give good vibes and good energy, but can she really trust him should she say no in the moment? What if he changes his mind halfway through? How's he going to react to that? Does she know how he would respond? I've spoken to many women who say they just had sex with a guy in the moment, not because they wanted to, but because it was easier than saying no, because they didn't want to cause any tension or any awkwardness. And to me, that's just asinine. A feminine woman doesn't put herself in a situation where she would have to be masculine, at least with the kind of man that she would potentially want, because it is the masculine in us that protects us. And so she wouldn't indulge in this kind of environment with a man that she doesn't fully trust yet, because that is how she caters to her own femininity. The next boundary that high value feminine women have is that they keep new male friends at arm's length. These kind of women, high value feminine women, understand that they have an effect on men. They understand that her beauty, her grace, her energy is alluring to the men around her. It's part of why men desire her and what makes her such a catch. Men are drawn to her and she doesn't pretend that that's not the case. Now, because she understands how the male psyche works, how the more attractive you are as a woman, the easier it is for men to want you, that men show their investment through his emotional time with a woman, well then the more emotional time he gives to her, the more he starts to fall in love with who she is. And friendships are an exchange of emotional time. So with that in mind, as a beautiful feminine woman, it's only natural that a man who she has a friendship with will potentially want more with her, either want more sexually or want more romantically. He'll at least fantasize about it. And while she may want the friendship because she likes who he is and she sees benefits of the friendship, there are some things that she just keeps him at arm's length for and maintains a healthy boundary. And she does this by not confiding really personal things in him that could jeopardize her current or future relationship, things that she would probably share with her girlfriends. Whenever that they meet outside of the professional environment they may have met through or without other people, she always makes sure that it's low stakes, like a coffee, never something that could be misconstrued as a date, like a film or going for dinner. The next boundary she has, or this one is more of a standard, is that she requires emotional investment from the man she's interested in. This kind of caliber of woman understands what real investment from a man looks like. She understands that a man wanting to have sex with her, that's not him bringing value. That's not him bringing respect. That's not even him bringing real desire. True desire is him wanting to get to know her, who she is, where she's come from, what she wants for herself, if that aligns with him. Getting a man to want to have sex with you as a woman is easy. Any woman can do that. But getting a man to want to pour his dreams, his emotions, his future into you, that's real girl game. And so how a man shows this is by emotionally investing in her. That's how she determines whether a man is serious about her or not. Does he remember things that she said? Does he consider her when he makes a plan? Does he share things that are important to him to her? Does he open up things about things he's never opened up about? All of this is what builds the emotional intimacy and connection. A man going to watch a film at a woman's house to stay the night and then leave the next morning, that's not real investment. That's not a choice in her. That's an indulgence for him. And of course, any energy he will want to give her, she wants to reciprocate, because it takes two to build a connection. But she can't give the love and essence that she has if he is not showing up that way as well. And the next standard that she has for herself is that she tells the truth, even if it's hard to hear. A high value woman doesn't look to lie or to deceive others. It's very easy to lie to one another because it comforts someone's emotions instead of comforting the realities of the situation. Now, there is a way to say everything, and people and women of value know this. There's a way to say something that comes from a place of compassion and of love. But she understands that lying, especially to her friends, actually hurts them in the long term. Now, she never gives unsolicited advice, because giving someone unsolicited advice, especially the kind where they could be making better decisions, that makes us come across as arrogant or us thinking that we're superior. But in every friendship group, you'll know the high value woman in the group, because all her girlfriends go to her for advice. Not necessarily come to her for comforting emotional tears, but when they're ready to level up and progress in growth, she's their go-to. Now, it's not to say that this kind of woman can never be comforting and compassionate. Of course, she is. But her friends know that she's not just a yes woman. She's not just going to go along with something because everyone else is and it's really easy to. She genuinely has everyone's best interest at heart, and so she believes in always expressing what is right, not what is easy. That's how she loves, and that's how she helps them. Because part of her feminine nature is not only to grow in herself, but to help the people around her grow any way she can. And so if you're looking for a great man to come into your life, then make sure you enroll in my Claim Your Man program below, where I show you how to do just that. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep it slayed.